This week on the Digital Coffee, LinkedIn are giving us video profile pictures. Twitter are considering reactions, and Facebook gives the axe to Facebook analytics. All that and more after this. Good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news for small business. And I am back. I am live. It feels good to be live. How are you all? Grasping my cup as usual, hoping that it will magically get filled with coffee. So let me know what's in your cup. If you are watching on Facebook, if you leave a comment, I will send you a copy of the Digital Coffee newspaper, which will give you all the stories from this week with some further reading that you can read in your own time. And if you want that and you don't know what to comment, tell me, what is in your mug right now? Or you could answer the question of the week. And the question of the week this week is, should there be a dislike button? Should there be a dislike button? And if you don't want to comment on either of those, you could just say hello. Say hello, and you'll also get a copy of the Digital Coffee newspaper. Now, before I get onto the news and before I answer your comments, because I can see them coming in, I want to tell you about something just in case you missed it. On the 12th of April, the Maximum Impact Marketing Challenge is back. It's back. What is she talking about? What am I talking about? This is a 5-day challenge, and I can see we've got Lynn watching who did it last time. A 5-day challenge that will help you transform your marketing. So if you feel like you're spending way too much time online doing stuff and you'd like to know, is it worthwhile? Come join that challenge. It's absolutely free. If you've done it before, that's fine. You can come do it again. I don't mind. So you can sign up there, spiderworking.com/max. And I timed it so all the kids, if you're in Ireland, if you're in the UK, I think if you're in the UK, all the kids should be back to school. So it's the time that you can actually work on your businesses. So come and join me on that day if you can. So good morning to all the people here leaving comments. Thank you. Here is Lynn, who has a lovely big cup of tea while she listens to my lovely self. Thank you. Catherine, good morning, Catherine. Happy Easter, black tea here. You'll have to tell me now, do you have Good Friday off? Because I know in the UK it's a bank holiday, but it's not here in Ireland. Good morning, Joanna, who's having a cup of tea. I'm working today. I didn't mean to, but it accidentally happened. I'd always do the Digital Coffee, but still I'm working. Hello, Derbla. Drinking water, and it all goes downhill from there. Absolutely. Second cup of tea for Mary. I've actually had 2 cups of tea already. And there's Lee. Good morning. Drinking coffee in my office in the blue skies of London. No, I don't know if I'm going to say that right, which is fabulous. It's sunny here today. I hear there's going to be poor weather like on Monday, but worry about that on Monday. I'm going to set up my outside office again today. And Lee, just in case you're wondering whether you should do the challenge or not, Lee did the challenge last time and it was brilliant. She learnt loads and she changed the whole way she walks. It's a bank holiday, but she's working. Poor Lee, never mind. Right, I just realised I don't even have my iPad out. So much excitement going on with everything. Bank holidays, hot cross buns. Anyone got a hot cross bun? Right, I have it now. So will we move on with the news?
This is May King from The FOMO Creator, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Wouldn't it be good if we could get an idea about the people we want to follow on LinkedIn and feel we know them a little bit better before we connect with them? Because I think LinkedIn is a very straight up network, and the way we represent ourselves on LinkedIn is usually a beautifully shot profile photo, a headshot maybe taken by a professional photographer. And as much as they are beautiful, they don't exude our personality, even if it is one of those wonderful shots that does exude your personality. it still doesn't necessarily tell us enough about the people we're following, which is why I'm a little bit excited that LinkedIn are adding something this week that they are calling video cover stories, which actually doesn't explain what they are at all. Basically, you'll have your profile picture, but if somebody mouses over it or clicks on it, they will get a video of you introducing yourself, which I think is fabulous. I know a lot of people aren't comfortable with video yet, but this is definitely a chance for you to make a better connection. Because when you think about it, probably you feel like you know me a little bit more because you watch me on video. You feel like you know the way that I move and the way that I talk and a little bit about my personality. And that's what video does. It helps build trust a little bit more. So by having this in your profile picture, you are able to build a little bit more trust with the people who connect with you. What will you say on this video? Well, first things, all the examples that LinkedIn have given us are vertical. So it looks like it's going to have to be vertical video. I'm not quite sure how long it is, but the examples they've given again, it's a way to introduce yourself. So you could have like your elevator pitch. You could tell people a little bit more about what you do. You could tell people what to expect. And that's kind of what I'd recommend if they connect with your profile. So what sort of content are you going to share? What do you talk about? What are your specialisms? You could share an awesome tip, something that people would go straight away, wow, that is fabulous. I must follow this person. Whatever you do, I think this is going to be a brilliant tool to use. And I don't think you need to overproduce it. It can just be a natural little clip of you talking to camera. And also try and avoid being too salesy. Yes, obviously people need to know what it is that you do, but don't go full on into a sales pitch in that profile video, because that's just going to turn people away. They're adding other features as well. They're adding stuff, they're calling them creator mode. And I'm guessing, if you don't know the secret, creator mode, creator is another word for influencer, because influencer, the term has such a bad rep. People call it creator instead. So they're giving creators some new tools for a new type of profile. And I think this is good because, you know, from a creator point of view, a business page isn't really the right fit. You're going to do all your business pretty much from your LinkedIn profile. So by adding these additional tools and giving you somewhere, an outlet really on LinkedIn to represent your professional self as an influencer, I think this is great. I think this is really exciting. So some nice, interesting, innovative stuff coming from LinkedIn. I do think that profile video will make you far more accessible than your perfect picture. I've got some comments here. I've got Jeanette, good morning, 2 cups of tea. Yeah, it is a 2 cup of tea morning. Fridays are 2 cup of tea mornings, definitely. 2 cup of tea, and then after the digital coffee, I'm allowed a coffee. Whole way I work, I missed something, obviously. I missed something obviously in Lee's previous comment, but you can make that. Lee likes the idea from LinkedIn, and let me know, will you use this tool as well? I'd love to know. Okay, let's move on and see what's next in the news.
You're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
I forgot what button to press just then. And I feel like I'm in the wrong place. It is one of those mornings. It's because it's Good Friday. Now, Facebook Analytics is going away. But don't panic. That doesn't mean you won't be able to see what's going on your page anymore. So that when you go into your page and you can see who's following you and which posts are doing well, that's Facebook Insights. That's the name of that tool. We've also got within Facebook ads, we've got analytics there, so you can see how well your ads are doing. I don't know what they call that, ad reporting or something like that. There's a more in-depth tool for Facebook ads, or just for finding out a little bit more about who you should be targeting on Facebook, called Facebook Audience Insights. All those are staying, but one thing is going away. And the thing that's going away is called Facebook Analytics. And it's a more complex tool that brings together your website traffic, everything that's your Facebook pixel, your activity on all your Facebook family of apps. So that includes, well, it includes Instagram and it includes Facebook. It doesn't include WhatsApp yet. And it was a way to bring all that together to see how things were affecting each other. It was a complex tool. I'd done a couple of trainings on it. It looks brilliant. It looks like you would find some really interesting and exciting insights there that could really help you develop your marketing strategy. But it was complicated. So it's always been on I need to sort that out. I need to go and have a look at that properly. Really, it was Facebook's idea of Google Analytics. And I don't think anyone's ever going to go to Facebook instead of Google Analytics. And that's a problem. So they're axing this. They're accessing Facebook Analytics. And one, could this be because people just weren't using it enough? There wasn't the uptake. And secondly, could this be related to the iOS 14 update, which we know is going to stop the ability of Facebook tracking as much data about its customers? I'm not sure, is that it? But that's obviously going to have a knock-on effect on the tool. And rather than rebuilding something from the ground using their other tools like Google is with the new Google Analytics platform, I think they probably went, well, not enough people are using it, so I'm going to get rid of it. It's interesting to see what's happening there. But I just wanted to say, don't panic. Your Facebook page insights will still be there. Hello. There we go. Lee says, my challenge changed the whole way she worked. You'd written walked. Well, walked works as well. It changed the whole way I walked. Good morning to Jazz. I don't normally see you here live, thank you. And you like the updates from LinkedIn.
Hi, I'm Carmel Siri and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
I don't think there is any denying that audio is going to be huge. Audio chat rooms are a thing right now. Now, they are right now a thing, but they may not be a thing in the future. I do think, well, I actually do believe they might have some longevity, but they're definitely a very lockdown thing, right? Because when we just want to slump on the couch like I was last night and join a Twitter space, we can do that. So it's no surprise that all the social networks are jumping onto this new trend. Started, of course, by Clubhouse, which is fabulous, but also now being copied universally pretty much. So first we did have Twitter audio spaces, which were being developed because they were smart before Clubhouse even became a thing. But then we had announcements, or it looks like Instagram and Facebook are going to adapt to audio rooms of some description. And this week, no surprise, LinkedIn. Yep, LinkedIn say that they are also going to launch an audio chat room. They say they're going to be different because it will be connected to your business profile or your professional profile, is how they put it. And I do think that is a difference. Well, I do think that's a difference with all social networks. So you go to Clubhouse and you're going to find new people probably. It's not so much about the connections you have already. You're starting a new profile, a new social network. I know lots of people are making new and valuable connections there. But it's so much easier when it's connected to a social media, isn't it? Because we've already got our profile on all those platforms. So choose the one that you're using already, and then you can have your audio chats there. And I think that's why Twitter audio spaces is a more comfortable space for me, because I can chat to the people that I know already. And I love that. It's a great way, just like LinkedIn video profiles, it's a great way to get to know people better. So it could be different. It could be different on LinkedIn. Particularly, it looks like they're going to roll it out to creators first, which you may remember is the code word for influencers. So it means that the conversations might be a little bit more valuable rather than just random rooms popping up all over the place too. I'm sure next week I'm going to come back and tell you that Snapchat is launching audio as well. It is a massive trend. We're just going to have to see how it goes, and if it does look like it's persisting, it's definitely worth building a strategy around this audio content.
I'm Ian Anderson-Gray and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Twitter Spaces are leading the way as far as I'm concerned with audio. Clubhouse started the whole thing, yes. People who are Clubhouse lovers will tell you that it's a different experience on Clubhouse to Twitter, but Twitter are definitely leading the way amongst the existing social networks. So firstly, they rolled it out very fast. They were ahead of the game. They didn't wait for Clubhouse to take off. They noticed and they developed a product ahead of everyone else. Secondly, they rolled it out to Android so that Android users could join Spaces. Clubhouse is still iOS only. And at the beginning of the month, so yesterday, just yesterday was it, they gave Twitter Spaces the ability to host Twitter Spaces to Android users. And next, and I think this is exciting, Twitter Spaces on desktop. Yes. Yes. So for some people who work on their computers all day, for small businesses, for business owners, for people in offices, this is the way that we access Twitter. It's the way that we look at Twitter. So it's going to be really great that we can actually activate, start conversations from there. But also, this is going to have a knock-on effect on our audio quality because we can just plug in our nice microphones. So all of a sudden I'll be able to sound really good instead of that kind of tinny noise that you get from a mobile phone. So I know you can adapt your mobile phones for nice microphones, but this will be an off-the-shelf product. I'm excited about this. So tell me, will you use audio on anywhere? I'd love to know. And I can see a couple of you commented already. Lee says she might actually use Twitter now. I actually am a big fan of Twitter, as most of you know. I know it has its downsides, but I think it is my favorite social network. It's always the one I find myself going back to. And Catherine says desktop is far better, but Twitter is quite toxic these days. I've actually found, apart from somebody who commented on one of my videos where I said exactly what I'm going to say now, I've actually found that Twitter has got a lot better recently since the end of Trump, because I think, you know, Trump and his followers did have a detrimental effect on Twitter. I know there is still stuff going on related to the pandemic, but I don't know if I'm just not following those people, but I actually find it a very nice space. It's all down to who you react to, talk to, because that's who Twitter puts to the top of your feed. But I'll stop doing an advertising pitch for Twitter right now. What are your thoughts on the use of audio for community groups? Well, yeah, I mean, it is going to be fabulous. I suppose for a community group, you might want it to be a closed space, so where it will be interesting to see. I know the Facebook version is going to give you the option to have private chats, private audio rooms that nobody else will be able to jump into. It's probably not going to be appropriate for that broadcast that you can do on Twitter right now or for Clubhouse, but I do think it is going to be a great way to communicate. I think for me, last night I just did a fun Twitter space and just have a chat about Dragon's Den, and it turned out I was the only one who watched Dragon's Den, but we had a nice chat anyway. And I was lying on the couch in my pajamas with cats lying all the way down me. I think that is the benefit of audio spaces. If that was a video chat, I'd never have done it, because I don't do makeup in the evenings. So I do think for a lot of people, this is going to be a way that we can communicate more. People are going to be more comfortable with. Lee says, yes, using audio. I wish Clubhouse did Android, although worried about time. That is the thing. You know, I've not used a lot of Clubhouse. I've dived into a few conversations and I just don't find it exciting, and I know lots of people do. Where there is something about Twitter, because it is the people I know already, that I do feel more comfortable in that space. I feel there's a lot of business rubbish being spoken on Clubhouse. Mary says she likes Twitter Spaces, only used it a little bit so far, but it's very easy and natural to talk. It is, isn't it? It's fabulous. And here's Laura. Hey, Laura. I'm looking forward to trying it. I'm an Android user, so I haven't used Clubhouse. So as an Android user, you should be able to join Twitter Spaces already. I think it's still limited both on iOS and on Android as to who can host a space, but definitely you can just go and jump in and join and have a listen. If you look at the top of your thing, there should be like purple circles. Anytime you see a purple circle, you can jump in and join those conversations.
Hi, I'm Charlie Lawrence and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
The reaction buttons on Facebook and on LinkedIn, I like those. I like them because they give you a chance to react to posts in a more nuanced way. No, they're not as good as leaving a comment, but we don't have time to comment on everything we see on Facebook. So I do think, and LinkedIn. So I do think other than having to give something a thumbs up, having those options makes us feel like we're actually doing something significant. And it's something I would love to see on Twitter, which is why I'm a little bit excited that they're currently surveying users to see, one, would they like reactions on Twitter? And two, if they would like reactions on Twitter, which set of reactions would they like? I think there's a problem with the like on Twitter. Apart from, you may not want to click the like button. It's a heart. You may not want to click the heart button, right? I know Instagram has the same problem, but Instagram is different. So what I will do most of the time, I'll either click the heart, not do anything at all, or maybe reply with a GIF if I've got time to go and find a GIF to reply with. So I think by giving us this option, it does give us more chance to engage in the way we want to. But what I think is going to be really good for us as businesses is, one, it's going to draw the lurkers out. So anyone that's scrolling through their feed may not have wanted to hit that heart button, but when they've got a full range of options, it could be a way to get a quick engagement from people. The second thing that could happen, although I'm not sure it will, is people may comment less because they don't have to go and search for a GIF. They won't go and search for a GIF. But are GIFs so much a part of the Twitter language that, in fact, that will work in the future? I don't know, but I am excited about this update. I do feel sometimes that I want to leave a reaction, like a shock reaction or a hug reaction, and I don't have the option to do so on Twitter. So we'll have to see what the results of this survey are. I love that they're asking Twitter users to put their feedback in as well, and I'm really hoping that anyone gets that survey will give it the thumbs up, because we'll give it a reaction, because I would really relish this tool.
Hi, I'm Catherine Mason and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Dislikes. A dislike button. Is that a good idea? I don't think it's a good idea. I actually like that Mark Zuckerberg once said, and actually seems to have stood by, the fact that he will never add a dislike button to Facebook. And the problem with the dislike button is that firstly, am I going to post content if I think people are going to dislike it and click the dislike button? I don't know, because obviously you're not going to feel comfortable, you're not going to feel valued. It's going to build into that whole sense of self that can totally get destroyed on social media. But it's also an opportunity to bully someone or attack someone, because you can go and dislike yourself. You can get all your friends to pile on and dislike. You can get a whole group of people to go and dislike a business post, which, let's face it, nobody wants that. But there is one place on social media where there is a dislike button. And that place is YouTube. And to be honest, I try not to look to see has anyone disliked my videos on YouTube, because it is that I've spent a long time creating those videos, and if somebody dislikes it, fair enough, leave a comment, tell me what you don't like. But clicking the dislike button is just a little stab in the heart. So it seems that this week YouTube is going testing, not showing a dislike count on YouTube publicly anymore, which I think is great, because you still get the option to click the dislike button to give a signal maybe to YouTube that this video isn't helpful, but it doesn't give that public facing dislike, which could turn a lot of people off from watching. So I do think it's good. And Catherine quite rightly says, a dislike button is too negative. It starts the negative spiral, both for you and also for anyone else that I've forgotten. I've lost my thread, but there you go. Think it's a good thing. I'm going to give that a thumbs up because thumbs down wouldn't be nice, would it?
Hey, it's Andy at Content Cal here, and you're watching A Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Fights that break out within Facebook groups can get out of hand really fast. I don't know if you've ever seen one, you know, as a popcorn viewer, but you'll see a thread and suddenly it will take off and comments will come in at speed. They'll come in every second and it just gets heated and people are missing each other's comments, so they're not responding to the right one. It's a mess. It's unpleasant. It's fun to watch, but that is all. So Facebook have introduced a new tool that will help you deal with anything like this that happens in your group. And this new tool will allow you to slow comments down. And when you put that on, people will not be able to reply more than once every 5 minutes. So they leave their angry reply and loads of other people post and they won't be able to go and post another reply for 5 minutes. And I think this is brilliant because it's so going to take the heat out of those arguments, isn't it? Because 5 minutes on the internet is a huge amount of time. You try and sit and look at one post on Facebook for 5 minutes. Well, apart from this one, thank you for watching for longer than 5 minutes. But if you just stare at a static post, you're going to go and you're going to get distracted. You're going to open another social network. Within 5 minutes, by the time you come back to that thread, you're not going to be as angry. So you're less likely to leave an unpleasant comment. You're going to be able to read the responses that have come in properly. And it could slow down all that anger that happens, which is going to be great for group members because I think, or group managers, because I think that those types of arguments can totally destroy a group. What's going to be there then is just the people that argue and just the people who want to watch. So by getting rid of those massive threads could be a great thing. There you go. Laura says in 5 minutes she'd have forgotten all about it. Yeah, exactly. But they have a place to show videos with negative messages. You'll have to expand on that a little bit more. Oh yeah, so yes, so the misinformation, those with misinformation are flagged. So firstly, this is going back to the YouTube conversation about the dislike button. You'll still be able to dislike, so that still sends a signal to YouTube, particularly if there's a lot of them, that something is wrong. And also you can leave a comment, so you can combat your comment with, this isn't true, here's a link for more information. You can also report a video, and I would suggest that is the way to go because nobody changes anyone's mind with a link to the right information. You can report a video to YouTube if it's spreading misinformation as well. So there is things that you can still do. Okay, I believe that is all the news for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been fabulous to be back live. It's a beautiful sunny day. I was going to say don't eat too much chocolate, but you know what? Eat as much chocolate as you want over the next few days. I'll be back, same bat time, same bat place next week. Until then, bye-bye.